Hi, everyone. Welcome to my interactive presentation, 3 writing tools that every writer needs. I'm Jennifer Mills Kerr, and I refer to this presentation as interactive because you will be answering questions and journaling in response to some of the slides. Now, I want to introduce myself. I am a poet, educator, and curator, and I offer creative writing classes and workshops to adults. And I inspire your artistic growth and community through these workshops and classes, and hopefully through my newsletter as well. I'm on a mission to catalyze your creativity in this presentation and beyond. You can connect with me through Eventbrite. That's where all my creative writing classes are for now, and also through my Substack newsletter, or you can go to my website. All of the links are in the comment box below. So let's talk about what you're going to be doing in this presentation. I will introduce a writer's tool. Then on the next slide, I will ask a few questions, and then you will dive in with a free write. I call it your journal of discovery, but that's how you're interacting here. We're going to go over some of the specifics of each tool first before the questions. But first of all, what are the 3 writing tools? Intelligent critique, reading with discussion, and free write sessions. They're not in any particular order either. You need all 3 of these equally, in my experience with working with writers. Intelligent critique, I'm just going to go over what I mean by that and why it's important. When you get feedback on your writing, no matter what you're writing, fiction, memoir, nonfiction, poetry, when you get feedback, it gives you a new perspective of your work. A reader will have their own impressions, their own questions, their own insights. So when they talk to you about your work, they're going to be opening up doorways for you, a portal, and give your work clarity as to what you're doing well and what needs to be improved. This should show you what your next steps are, whether that's a strength that you want to, like the power of the piece is a little bit submerged and your reader says, this needs to be amplified. I loved this. Or whether a reader gets lost in some area of the work and you need to expand upon it, grow it, clarify it. They're showing you what your next steps should be. I refer to critique that's necessary as intelligent. What I mean to say also is that it's constructive. It helps you grow as a writer. You should feel inspired and motivated after intelligent critique. There's destructive critique that makes us feel awful as writers. That's not intelligent. That is not helpful. You're looking for intelligent critique that inspires you. So in your kind of journal of discovery here, you're going to sort of reflect on these questions. You can write these questions down. I'm going to read them and pause for a little bit. I want you to pause the video in order to explore these as you want to. Choose whichever question resonates or all of them. So in terms of intelligent critique, what sort of feedback have you had so far? How has it been useful, or why has it been useful? And what is it you need as a writer in terms of critique? Do you require another form of support in terms of critique? Is there anything missing? Or do you have what you need? So pause the video here so that you can explore those questions. I'm going to go on to the next slide. The second tool every writer needs is reading with discussion. I know as writers, you're all reading, but in order to amplify the benefits of reading and to establish kind of what your sweet spot is, so to speak, in terms of your own creative work and ways it can be developed, is to talk about the elements of craft that are in the reading. Parts of your favorite book that inspire you. What are they exactly? When you start to look at it more carefully and really reflect on it, you will be able to develop your work in that way as it works for you. So you're learning a lot about literature in general, what aspects of literature really impress upon you as a reader, but they will also take you in new creative directions as a writer. Also, I know many of you know this already, but if you're in book clubs or if you're with other writers and in your feedback groups, hopefully you have a positive critique group. Part of its inspiration is this type of back and forth, because inevitably, as writers, we're not only talking about our work, but the work of others. Have you read that book? It keeps us inspired and open, enthusiastic. It's helpful for us to have communities where we're talking intelligently, not just I like that book, but this is why, about writing in every capacity. So let's look at the discussion, reading with discussion, and your discovery in terms of questions that I'm posing for you to reflect on, to write on, ways for you to think about this in a new way. I want you to actually think of something that you've recently read that made an impression on you. What did that writer do well? Now, you can be looking at description, imagery, voice, character creation, depending upon whether you're thinking of a novel, a memoir, a poem, and it can be anything. What did they do well? And then the last question is, would you like to add more of this element to your own work? So take a moment, pause the video if you need to. The last practice, activity, tool that I am a big proponent of is free write sessions. A lot of people are very busy. Free write sessions are the automated writing we do within a specific time period. In my workshops, I offer 5 to 7 minutes of free writes. Um, this allows you to generate new work within a specific time. And it's amazing what I've seen in my workshops, how much people create in 5 to 7 minutes. So many of us are busy and we need to carve out time to create. Free write sessions are a great way to do that. They're also terrific for getting past the inner critic, that mean voice that is so unhelpful. When you're in a free write session and the voice says, this is awful, and you keep writing, you're learning to build a resilience to that inner critic. It won't stop you anymore. It's a practice that just allows you to transcend the inner critic over and over again. And this brings you a lot of confidence. So in terms of your journal of discovery, free writes, how often do you use free writing in your creative work? Do you use it? And I want you to think about, go by your impulse here. When I say go wild with your writing, what comes up? When I say your inner critic, what comes up? You're doing a free write right now, and you can't do it wrong. Take as much time as you need. And freeze the video if needed. So to summarize, the 3 writing tools: intelligent critique, reading with discussion, and free write sessions. Now I'm going to summarize something very, very quickly here. How you work is specific to you. That is why I made this presentation interactive. When you increase your awareness of how you work, you will bring in a lot more confidence into what works for you and how you can grow your creative life. So I hope this interactive presentation has brought you more creativity, more awareness, and a little bit more insight to how you work with your creative self. Thank you so much for watching. You can go to my website again if you want to connect with me or learn more about my workshops. I hope you'll join me. in some way, shape, or form in the future? Thanks so much.